a well-known playwright named William Shakespeare. The royal crown played a major part in theater. Anything politically controversial was strictly prohibited. Many playwrights were careful not to upset the Queen. The Globe was a famous theater that featured many of Shakespeare's plays. It could hold thousands. The wealthier the person was, the closer and more comfortable their seats were. Royalty and rich noblemen were the only ones who could afford those more suitable seats. Shakespeare was one of the first to have a woman play a female role. Usually young boys had these parts. The Queen was satisfied with Shakespeare's plays, and he made her believe that love can be realistically portrayed on stage.
Who is the writer of this play? I was shocked to see a woman on stage. It's very brave of you to do that.
Well, I wanted you to believe in love.
And I did. It was well written and very passionate. Excellent work, Shakespeare. Bravo.
Restoration theater was the time where plays were solely based off of the concept that all personnel of royalty were spoiled, stuck up, and degrading. One of the most famous plays in this era written was The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. Another famous writer is George Bernard Shaw. Here's a scene from The Importance of Being Earnest.
Good morning, Miss Prism. You are, I trust, well.
Miss Prism has just been complaining of a slight headache. I think it would do her much good to take a short stroll with you in the park, Dr. Chasuble.
Cicely, I have not mentioned anything about a headache.
I know, but I felt instinctively that you had a headache. And indeed, I was thinking about that and not my German lesson.
Cicely, I trust you are not inattentive.
I am afraid I am.
That is strange. Were I Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips, metaphorically speaking, like a bee. I trust Mr. Worthington has not returned home yet.
We do not expect him until Monday afternoon.
That is good, as he does like to spend his Sundays in London.
The Greek theater history began with festivals honoring their gods. A god Dionysus was honored with a festival called City Dionysia. In Athens, during this festival, men used to perform songs to welcome Dionysus. Plays were only presented at City Dionysia festivals. Athens was the main center for those theatrical traditions. Athenians spread these festivals to its numerous allies in order to promote a common identity. At the early Greek festivals, the actors, directors, and dramatists were all the same person. After some time, only few people were allowed to perform in each play.
I am the prophet, and I predict that your son is going to kill you and marry you. You have been warned.
This is ridiculous. I'm going to send him out into the wilderness. Years later.
He is right here.
Oh.
And I now pronounce you husband and...
I object! You don't know what happened. He killed your husband, and he is your son. I told you!
And so as you can see, he's going to stab himself in the eye, and she's going to hang herself. Good night.
Will Chapman was the first man ever to build a showboat and launched it in Pittsburgh. In 1831, floating theaters and floating operas were popular, as well as boat shows. Performances were usually along the Mississippi and Ohio River. Admission was usually with coins, but they accepted food from farmers. Sadly, the Civil War diminished showboats. Luckily, vaudeville came around, which was the life after the Civil War. Vaudeville was usually a variety show. There would be plays, operas, drama, comedy, and even lion tamers. Vaudeville spread across the U.S. and was the best type of entertainment. It originated from Louisiana and Kentucky. Lastly, did you know Benjamin Franklin discovered vaudeville and he was a very good singer?
Vaudeville! Get out here, come out here. This lion, the ferocious lion. Come on. Wait a minute, it's a dog. Wait a minute. Now it's a cat. Go away and get away. Go and never come back. Don't come back.
Knees are telling you love me, Willis.
I did not get down on my knees to tell you I love you. I'm thinking of this piece of chicken.
What you talking about, Willis? Give me some.
We got a 6-piece from Popeye. 6-piece.
L'amourette d'oiseau rebelle que nul ne peut apprivoiser. C'est bien en vain qu'on l'a.
Heart attack.
She's having a heart attack. Someone call the police. Someone call the police. Call the police. I love you.
Musical theater is a form of theater that combines music, spoken dialogue, and dance. The story of the piece is communicated through words, music, movement, and technical aspects brought together as a whole. There are vibrant musical theater scenes in Britain and North America, as well as many countries in Europe, Latin America, and Asia. Some famous musicals include Showboat, West Side Story, Hair, Les Mis, Rent, Dreamgirls, and Wicked.
Everybody, oh, this summer has just begun. Let's rock and roll and just let go to the rhythm of the drums. We're gonna have fun in the sun. Let all the hard work is done. Everybody, one for all and all for.
Medieval theater is a history of dramatic literature as it developed during the Middle Ages. During medieval times, traveling players, known as minstrels, kept the theater alive along with acrobats, puppeteers, jugglers, and storytellers. They created a stage by raising a simple platform wherever they performed, in halls, marketplaces, and at festivals. Christians thought that this kind of entertainment was a sin, so they started their own kind of theater.
Why should I give you our land?
I gave you both this land to share. If you don't want to share, then fight for it.
Japanese theater consisted of 4 forms. No and Kyogen were the intermission forms, and 4-foot puppet theater was called banraku. Kabuki is traditional Japanese theater. Contemporary theater is very diverse. Method acting has said to have revolutionized American theater during this period. It was systemized training that developed external as well as internal abilities. Some contemporary plays include The Odd Couple, Ordinary People, and A Raisin in the Sun.
Who are you? I am your fairy gosh mother. Gosh mother. And I am here to help you go to the princess ball.
Oh, how would you do that?
Let me see. What do you have around here that we could make use of? Oh, look, mice. You mice shall make a great team of horses. bop. Bippity, bippity, bop. Oh, look at that.
Oh, my stepmother wanted me to get rid of them, so it's like you killed two birds with one stone.
Yes, isn't it? Now that we have the horses, we'll need a carriage. Maybe you have something around here that I could change into a carriage.
Oh,
a pumpkin, or other round vegetables, perhaps.
I was supposed to get rid of all the mouse poo-poos.
Really? Look, mouse poop!
Oh.
You mouse droppings will do nicely. Bop, bop, bippity, bippity, poop.
Now you killed 3 birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Realism was a movement started in Russia that made acting more modern and closer to what life is really like. It is now a style taught in many acting schools to young actors today.
The numbers have been really interesting these days. You know, I have to say, it's been really good. Production has been excellent in the past year or so. We've totally blown past our competitors in the whole marketing industry as of now. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful of the productiveness in our whole workforce today. Yes.
But I don't understand something. Our profit margin is not quite right. There are some numbers that are not correct written down. I think that has to do with accounting.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
A romantic drama film is a film that seriously studies the romantic nature of relationships between people. Common themes include the characters making decisions based on a newly found romantic attraction. The questions, what am I living for, or why am I with my current partner, often arise. The appeal of these films is in the dramatic reality of the emotion expressed by the characters. In the medieval times, it would usually be a prince saving a princess from a dragon.
Help! Oh, someone please help me from this dragon! Help! Help!
Don't worry, my lady. I'll save you from this beast. Unhammer you, vile demon. All right, this is your time.
Yes! Thank you! You saved me. Now we can live happily ever after.
And
Again? Oh no!
We are done whipping right here.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna pull up the G. My hair back and forth. I whip 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 my hair back and forth.
To the meters because we my boom off and we ain't doing nothing wrong. So don't tell me nothing, I'm just trying to have fun. So keep the party jumping, so what's up?
Okay.
Be sure to get his good side.
You said this.
He has no good side.
I wasn't going there, but.
Oh, okay. Okay, Nick, you want me to go on you? Okay. You just made me take a kilometer. Okay. You want to take a mile? I'm taking a kilometer. What are you doing? What is all this? What
were you thinking?
I should have got Dana to do it.
I could have been it.
You could have been the lesbian possible.
That whole last part.
I would have put my mouth on the lip. Metaphorically speaking.
I need to. Let's see what's our